Amobee has developed a set of tool sets and solutions on top of our platform that supports the end-to-end workflow for a publisher when they're thinking about how they want to monetize against their linear addressable inventory. So what I mean with regards to end-to-end workflow and the tool sets, you need to have tools that are going to support both the planning process, the execution process, the optimization process, and then the feedback loop. And so our platform is there to support that natively along with the workflows that they have as sellers, meaning they go through pre-sales, they go through sales, they may want to sell their linear addressable programmatically. What are the right channels and functions and capabilities, and then underlying workflow that are necessary in order to enable an addressable linear business.
Got it. On our panel, Mike Bologna described this view of addressable while still keeping some linear C3 inventory at a spot level. Seems like to do that right would require better data than maybe the industry has right now. So could you comment a little bit about you obviously have analytics, and then you have the data to feed those analytics. Where do you think we are from the standpoint of having the right data to drive the decisions that your platform is looking to drive?
I think we have a lot of understanding that targeting data is important and necessary, but almost as important that is an understanding of what the competing KPIs and metrics are for all of the clients you're trying to satisfy across your scarce inventory pool. And so that problem set requires an understanding of not just the target segment that's being used and asked for by a client, but that of all of the other competing campaigns. So you need to understand kind of the audience overlap. You need to be able to understand what's been committed and sold to date. And then you need to be able to forecast and understand the fluctuations in the viewership and the changes in terms of the volumes that you're going to be seeing in order to be able to confidently determine how much inventory do I need to set aside for my addressable campaigns versus how much inventory do I need to reserve to satisfy my traditional linear. And so there's a process of look back and forecasting not just data and viewership, but also demand. And those three things that come together really help give more confidence into, I'm going to maximize the value of the yield against my inventory. I'm not going to kind of throw away what I need for linear sales for this new addressable world, while I know I'm going to make higher CPMs for higher targeting, better data, and so forth. There needs to be a balance in terms of how much of that inventory is used for which purposes across the portfolio.
Got it. In the opening session at today's event, Tim described a world where all target definitions need to start with the advertiser. That it's no longer platforms have their own way to define a target, it's all the advertiser driven. It would seem like that would create a little bit of stress on publishers because they won't know how to value a target until they actually know what it is and score it against their inventory. How well are you preparing people for that world?
Yeah, I think that is a challenge if you're working in a world of syndicated data sets versus user identity. So if we're working in a world of user identity where we are able to forecast and understand the frequency from which we're going to see specific users across different screens, different devices, and different distribution channels, then as an advertiser comes in and says, I want this audience target definition, they may not want to share that with the publisher. They may decide, this is my secret sauce, this is my first-party data, such that you have no intrinsic knowledge because it is my first-party data. How can I translate that into an understanding that you will have in order to be able to execute against that? And that's where our approach is focused on identity, linking up with those advertiser data sets such that we can abstract what the targeting segments are, tie it to the users we're trying to reach, and then forecast and deliver and pace and report all about how we're delivering those user audiences that the advertisers are looking for.